Welcome back.
Welcome back to Socratic Sisters podcast.
I'm Maggie.
I'm Sadie. This is episode 4. Woohoo!
And it's about the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Oh my God. Former president.
Okay, before you say anything, disclaimer. We acknowledge that JFK died.
Yes, he did.
And he was killed. And
he was assassinated.
Yeah, and we do not claim to know what happened.
What actually happened.
This is all speculation and for fun and entertainment purposes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's all.
Now we have that out of the way.
Now that we have that out of the way.
So we did just record the last episode and we took a break and now we're back.
Yes.
We're not going to do this every time, I promise.
No, we just have a busy couple of weeks coming up.
Super busy. So
do you want to talk about what we're doing the next couple of weeks?
Oh my God. Okay. So next weekend I am graduating.
Woohoo! Whoop, whoop.
Halfway.
Yeah, you're getting your associates.
Yeah, my associates.
Which is amazing.
So I didn't even want to walk, honestly. I was like, is this even worth it? But
it is.
It's fine.
I wish I had been able to walk in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
We did not.
No. Yeah, I just thought it'll be fun to celebrate and stuff. Anyway,
yes.
So I'm doing that. And then the next day is Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Well, I thought yours was on Friday. It was on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. Wait, I don't know what I'm doing.
You should figure out what
it's
day.
A busy weekend. It is on the Friday.
Okay.
It's on Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay.
But we just have a very busy weekend because that's also mine and my boyfriend's anniversary. So then it's...
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. Very exciting. And I think we're going to probably do something.
Yeah. Probably not a trip, though, because you're going to be busy all weekend.
Yeah.
You should do a trip, though, eventually.
Probably.
Like maybe for your birthday or something.
Probably. I don't know. Yeah. And then my birthday's in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And your bridal shower.
My bridal shower.
Is the next
which
week.
You literally planned.
Which I am planning.
You planned all of it, and I'm so grateful. I have no idea what's happening.
Well, don't be grateful yet.
I'm so
haven't
grateful.
Seen it yet. So.
I'm sure it looks beautiful.
Okay.
I'm sure it's gonna look great. And I appreciate
never planned anything like this before. So you're getting married later this year.
Yep, October.
And the only thing, I'm not maid of honor, but I am like an honorary maid of honor.
I asked you, and you're like, I don't want to be maid of honor.
No, it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
I can't do
I was like, okay, that's fine.
Like, I know my own schedule and I know my limits. And I was like, I don't think I can do all of that.
And that's totally fine.
But I am doing the bridal shower. That's the one thing you asked me to plan.
Because I didn't want to plan anything else. I was done planning.
Which is fair. And the bridal shower you should be planning anyway. Yeah. It should be...
someone.
Yeah. Someone who cares about you just to celebrate. Okay. Whatever.
That's sweet.
Okay. Delete that part. But it'll be fun. I hope. We'll see.
I bet it'll be great.
We'll see. And what else?
I'm just awkward when like people give me gifts. And
me too.
It's really awkward when it's like wedding stuff because I'm like, yeah, like you can give me a gift. That's great, but we're not requiring it.
Yeah. And
so when they're like, oh, what's your registry? I'm like, it's on the website. That's all. It's just one wet registry. We don't need stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, your gift is the bridal shower.
That's fine.
Me.
Please.
That
all. Sounds great.
Because
I appreciate it.
The amount of like effort and time and money that goes into it.
The money.
No, I don't know. No, I'm not trying to guilt you or anything. I'm just saying.
But I worked really hard.
No, I'm not trying to guilt you. I just there's a lot that goes into it, and I was like, I don't know if we have the money to also buy like a fancy present for your wedding.
You don't have to at all. It's not required of anyone to buy us a present.
That's great. I feel like...
And you guys are in the wedding, so like it's a
that too. Yeah, I also had to buy my dress and...
yeah, you guys are like spending a lot of money.
For my dress, which was more than my dress.
Which is insane.
The shoes that I bought don't look good with my dress, so I had to buy new shoes.
Sorry.
So it's fine. Like, I should probably have those sandals, and I should probably have like a nude pair of heels. Like, I'm just building out my wedding guest.
Yeah, there you go.
Options.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
Because it all works out.
Yeah, I'm at that point where everyone in my life is going to be getting married. So
it's gonna keep going.
Good investment, I guess. So much.
So yeah, we're doing 2 episodes today, and then sometime next week probably we'll try to squeeze one in.
I originally was thinking Father's Day because I was like, well, we don't have a dad. Like, what are we gonna be doing?
but
we have a stepdad.
So we're celebrating him.
Dang it! Oh my god! And tonight's the Tony Awards.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
I know you don't care about that. But
I don't watch the Tony Awards.
I'm currently on a rewatch of Glee, and there's 2 Glee cast members that are nominated for Tonys, and I'm so excited. It's like a full circle moment.
Which, they're both so amazing.
They're both so amazing. Jonathan Groff and I think Darren Criss are both on Broadway right now.
I remember in college we rewatched, like my whole roommate's situation, we rewatched Glee, and when Darren Criss came into the plot, we were like, oh my god. And
he's not gay.
Like, no, I know.
He looks like he passed.
He passed
very well. He acted it very well.
And I was pleasantly surprised to find out he's not.
Oh my god. We didn't say it's Pride Month.
It is Pride Month.
We didn't say anything about Pride Month.
Well, yeah, because we didn't know timing and schedule until now.
Guys, happy Pride Month. At this point, it's almost over.
I know. Oh, we should have said something in the second episode.
Sorry. Anyway, but...
Or in the first episode, it came out.
Allies. Oh, well. We recorded on June 1st.
Yeah, that was our first
just did something. Anyway,
that's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Happy Pride Month.
Yay!
Gay is awesome. We love the gays.
We love the gays.
We have lots of gay friends.
And ally.
And I'm like somewhere in there, and you're, I don't know.
I don't think I am.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. I've been going back and forth.
Maybe it's just because like
I'm a questionable.
All of our like 4 siblings are
all there
gay
in some way.
So maybe it's just like maybe I am too.
I don't know. I always thought I was like the straightest one in our family.
I think you still are.
I think so too. But like for a while there I was going back and forth of like, do I like girls? But
yeah.
I think I just like the idea.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that would be nice.
Wow, that'd be really nice. But too bad. You can't choose.
Oh,
bummer, dude.
Anyway, so we are allies. We love the gays. Happy Pride Month.
What's that? Is it just
talk, Valentina.
Ally. Oh my god, I have hair in my mouth. Ally.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. Anyway, let's get into the episode.
Yes. So
theme music.
Okay.
Okay. We don't have a theme song. We're just gonna pretend that we do every time.
Oh my god.
Do you have a hair in your mouth?
Yeah, I have like 10 hairs in my mouth. It's your fault.
Yeah, it's Avi's fault.
So today we are talking about the assassination of John F. Kennedy and how it went down according to news outlets and the government, and then a few theories of how it actually probably went down.
Okay.
We don't know if these are true. They're conspiracy theories.
It's just a theory, guys.
It's just a theory. I don't know everything about these topics. I research as much as I can, but I don't know everything. So if you have any more theories, please share them with us, and I can maybe cover them at some point. So the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, took place on November 22nd, 1963, at approximately 12:30 p.m. local time in Dallas, Texas.
I don't know why. I don't know if this is like a Mandela effect or I'm an idiot. Why did I always think that it happened in 1969?
I don't know.
You said 63?
It's 63. November 22nd, 1963.
Was that Bobby Kennedy?
I don't know.
Is that when he died?
I do have a Kennedy that died.
It doesn't matter. I'm just stupid.
Okay, so maybe you were just thinking about Robert Kennedy.
I think so. I don't know why I totally thought it was
No.
then.
1969 also, there's a lot going on.
There was
So-
space race.
Yeah.
There was a lot. Okay, go ahead.
I also don't know a lot about history, so the fact that I'm doing a lot of conspiracy theories on history is crazy. It's some crazy stuff.
History involved in conspiracy stuff, because you have to tell the story, and then you have to like go over the significance and everything.
Yeah.
So buckle up.
Okay, buckle up. So he was fatally shot riding in a motorcade with his wife Jacqueline Kennedy, Texas Governor John Connally, and his wife Nellie Connally. He was shot from a nearby Texas school book depository. So basically, it was a school textbook distribution firm building nearby.
Okay.
And that was by Lee Harvey Oswald, a former U.S. Marine who was also only 24 years old.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But I mean, in the 1960s, they went military at 18.
Yeah,
so like
at
he
that
had already
point-
been in the military and all of that. And
Also, at that point, like, you're expected to have, like, been married, have kids.
oh, for sure. And have a whole life by
yeah.
then.
So he's not...
Now it's like, oh, I barely know how to cook my own food. And then the motorcade rushed to Parkland Memorial Hospital, where Kennedy was pronounced dead about 30 minutes after the shooting. So it's pretty fast.
Wow.
Connolly was also wounded in the attack, but didn't die and recovered well.
Okay.
Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was hastily sworn in as president 2 hours and 8 minutes later.
What?
Aboard Air Force One at Dallas Love Field. So like in Air Force One, he was like, I swear
wonder,
to be
so he was
president.
he was vice president at that point. I wonder if that was only because there was like decisions that needed to be made.
Oh, for sure. There were so
like,
many things happening at that
they
time.
needed someone to officially like be in the position to make decisions to like counteract what just happened.
And really, I feel like that's a little slow. 2 hours
yeah,
after his death, or I guess
Maybe.
after the shooting. So maybe like an hour and a half after his death.
I
they
guess
were like,
just
okay,
to process
we
like
gotta-
what the
yeah.
fuck is going on.
you have to immediately
That's terrifying.
switch over. Yeah, it's
Jeez.
really scary.
And
Well-
like, why would you want to take that job after
You're like,
the
oh,
last
he's
guy just
assassinated.
died? It's like, oh yeah, sure.
Love that. Thanks.
Okay.
Not a great job application. After the assassination, Oswald, who's the shooter, returned home to retrieve a pistol. He shot and killed one lone Dallas policeman, J.D. Tippett, shortly afterwards. Don't know why.
I didn't know more people died.
Yeah, he just shot like I think maybe a police officer was going after him or something, or like
I just assumed that they had like Secret Service members probably just like take him out
at that.
immediately after.
That no.
They didn't have that yet?
He didn't. They were definitely looking for him, but they didn't find him until 70 minutes after Kennedy and Connally were shot.
Wow.
He was apprehended by the Dallas Police Department and charged under Texas state law with the murders of Kennedy and Tippett. So the Tippett was the police officer.
The police officer, yeah.
2 days later, as live television cameras covered Oswald's being moved through the basement of Dallas Police Headquarters. So they had live footage of him moving towards the headquarters.
I'm sad. Like,
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh.
He was fatally shot by Dallas nightclub operator Jack Ruby while he
During
was being transported.
While
by
they were
police.
recording?
Yeah. On
Like
on air.
live?
Yes. Yes.
I'm not sad.
On live
I don't want to be
television.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Ew.
all of these deaths
Wait.
right after another.
Wasn't JFK like they were in like a parade or something?
Yes.
So wasn't that also being streamed?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
I
so
think it
people
was
saw
live
that
television.
too.
It wasn't technically streamed.
Well,
but
okay.
it was 1963.
Yeah.
But it was live
It was on TV.
television. And yeah, they had
God.
got it on camera,
2
which is crazy. 3 three shootings technically within what?
But like, oh my God, imagine
3 days
being just like a regular person watching the news and you see 2 people get shot and die.
Yeah.
Oh my God, scary.
Especially in that time.
That's why we have a delay now.
Yeah. Yeah.
With live TV. That's crazy.
So that they can edit something out and all of that.
Hate that.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. So first it was Kennedy who got shot by Oswald. Oswald got shot by Ruby. And
he shot the police officer before that.
Yes, before that Oswald shot the police officer.
Yeah.
Like Kennedy, Oswald was taken to Parkland Memorial Hospital where he soon died, which makes me think that Parkland Memorial Hospital kind of sucks.
They were shot.
Like, yeah, but come on.
Wasn't Kennedy shot like in the head? Like, of course he died.
I mean, yeah, he was definitely like he was gonna die, but they needed to rush him there anyways.
That's kind of like the parallels of those two's deaths is like kind of eerie.
I know, isn't it?
They were both shot on live TV, taken to the same place where they both died immediately.
Yeah,
spooky.
It's really weird. Ruby was convicted of Oswald's murder, though the decision was overturned on appeal, and Ruby died in prison in 1967, so 4 years later, while awaiting a new trial.
Oh.
I don't know how he died.
Older or?
I don't know. He was Jack.
That's interesting. That's like if you kill
it's
a
like kind of
murderer.
Karma.
It's like if you kill a murderer.
He was 55 years old.
Should you be punished in the same way that the original murderer would have been punished?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's because it wasn't self-defense. It wasn't like you can't excuse it that way. It is still considered murder. But there's like there's a moral difference, I think, in those two murders.
Yeah. So Jack Ruby.
Not saying it's justified or a good thing to do.
But like that it feels like karma in some way.
It's
I don't know. Or
it feels different.
Or definitely eerie and suspicious.
I get why they were repealing it.
Yes.
Appealing. Why there was an appeal. But it wasn't fast enough. Sorry.
Jack Ruby was 55 years old. He actually died from lung cancer and a pulmonary embolism while he was in jail.
Shit.
So it was natural causes, which sucks. After a 10-month investigation, the Warren Commission concluded that Oswald assassinated Kennedy, which makes sense, and that there was no evidence that either Oswald, or Ruby was part of a conspiracy. So they didn't have anything to do with the assassination of Kennedy, is what they said. It was separate.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, every time you're saying Oswald, I think of that kids show of the big blue octopus guy.
I'm imagining him too. Oh my gosh, you should put a photo.
Like that guy killed JFK.
He would. He was a little shifty.
I want someone to make a wanted poster of that character. It's wanted for murder.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
In its 1979 report, the U.S. House Select Committee on Assassinations, or the HSCA, concluded that Kennedy was likely assassinated as a result of a conspiracy.
So they just said that it wasn't conspiracy, though.
Yeah, and then in 79, they said it was.
Okay.
They're really
Wait, 79?
79.
Oh, so it's
so like years later. Yeah.
Okay.
The HSCA did not identify possible conspirators, but concluded that there was a high probability of 2 gunmen fired at the president. So they think 2 people worked together to kill the president.
Why?
I don't know. They had some evidence. I don't know.
You don't know what the evidence was?
No, it didn't say anything.
Was it related to...
Oh, there was no evidence. Oh, wait, no, there was no evidence that Oswald or Ruby were part of it. What were you going to ask?
I'm confused. Wait.
They're going back and forth.
Okay, so they just can't decide whether it was a conspiracy or if it was just like two separate crazy guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're like, it's assassinated as a result of a conspiracy, but not like, I don't know how to explain it.
I wouldn't think that the guy that killed Oswald would have been involved in a conspiracy.
See, what I would have thought is like maybe Ruby, like supported that administration or something, and
The
then
Kennedy administration.
or he had he had something against Oswald particularly, and he was like, oh, this is your karma or something, like whatever,
well,
like this is what I'm doing for you.
I'm trying to imagine,
or to you.
and this is not real, this is speculative. I'm trying to imagine like what would happen if this happened nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about, because I don't really know how politics were in the 60s, but now it's really emotional.
Gosh. Very emotional, yeah.
So I'm wondering if he didn't really have anything to do with anything politically. It's just someone who really like emotions are high.
Yeah. You're like, this just happened.
Yeah. And someone who's like, who can't cope with the fact that their president has been assassinated in such a gruesome way too, and public way.
Oh, very public.
So I wonder, I wouldn't think that he was part of any conspiracy. I would just think that he's
very emotional.
Just emotional.
And acting out from it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the official narrative upheld by the Warren Commission in 1964, which was a year after he was assassinated, is that Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine sharpshooter, acted alone, firing from a 6th floor window of the Texas School Book Depository. So that was like a year later. They're like, this is what happened. And that was basically what they wanted to keep as the narrative.
Yeah, they were like, case closed.
Until 1979, where it reopened, and they were like, I don't know. So that's when all the questions came out.
Okay.
And one of those questions was there a second gunman?
Why would there be a second gunman?
How could he have assassinated a president alone?
But nobody else was shot.
Nobody else was,
except the governor. What was he? That other guy.
Yeah, Governor John Connolly. Connolly.
Yeah.
And he was injured, but they didn't say if he got shot or not.
So, okay, I'm wondering if he was like...
Let me look at a photo of what they looked like in the moment.
I've seen the photo.
I just need to
Jackie.
See. Oops. Not JFK Airport. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like they're in the car. He's like waving.
Oh, I've seen the photo of like the aftermath after he was shot.
Oh. Yeah, so they're in the front and then they're in the back. So yes.
Okay. Is that the guy right in front of
the
JFK?
governor.
Is the governor?
Yes. And then
so it would make sense if he was shot
and he got injured from.
Was he shot in the back and then he leaned forward and hit Connolly?
I don't know. I don't know
somehow?
where he was shot.
Okay. Because I'm thinking like if somehow Connolly was also shot or like hit with some kind of like something from the bullet, it wouldn't make sense. The argument for two gunmen wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. It could have just ricocheted or something.
Yeah,
or
just been from the same bullet. But if somehow he also got shot.
He was shot. Oh, the governor was shot in his back.
Oh.
Bullets struck the president's neck and head, and he slumped over toward Mrs. Kennedy. The governor was shot in his back. So he moved,
awful.
And then they shot again. So he went towards... He fell towards her, and then he got shot as well.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then that does open up the possibility of there being a second gunman.
So, because there were at least two shots. Yeah.
Okay.
So, this theory goes, in 1976, the House Select Committee on Assassinations reopened the case. So, like, 13 years later, if I'm doing math right. 1964
I don't even want
to 76. I think it's 13 or 12 or something. Reopened the case and concluded there was probably a second shooter. Pointing to the infamous grassy knoll. Now
I've heard about the grassy knoll.
Now a historical landmark, but back then a hill overlooking the area where Kennedy was situated in his motorcade. So that grassy hill, they're like, I think someone was there helping.
I have heard about this. Okay.
I've watched this I think conspiracy video a long time ago, and they did a reenactment, and I was like, oh my god.
I watched Crazy. Did you ever watch the Umbrella Academy?
Yes.
They go back in time and they try to stop.
That's what I was thinking of.
And they go back in time to this fucking kid. Yeah. Goes back in time to the knoll, and he's like, I have to find out who if there was a second shooter or something like that. I don't
remember why he was there. I was like, okay,
so
cool.
ridiculous.
That's what I think about every time. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, show. I think about that kid in his little shorts
and his little knee-high socks.
But he's actually an adult in a kid's body.
Yes.
Dude, that's a whole whoa, that's a whole topic.
That's crazy. I need to watch that again. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, well, however, in 1982, again, 10 years later.
Yeah.
8 years later, maybe. The National Academy of Sciences refuted the acoustic evidence that undermined no.
Girl, you gotta paraphrase your own.
I know. Okay, they basically refuted the second shooter theory.
Why?
Still the null remains a focal point for those who believe in a broader conspiracy. That's all that was said about that conspiracy.
What?
Just that one conspiracy. I have another one, but
okay.
That's the end of that null conspiracy.
That's the end of the null?
Mm-hmm.
What? That can't be.
No evidence. They have no...
It's just
They're just oh, this shot could have been taken from here, and they could have done that.
And that's it. I guess... Oh my god.
As far as I could find.
Is that why people are so obsessed with it? Because there's no
nothing.
answers.
Yeah. So it's such a mystery.
That pisses me off.
I know.
Okay, next.
The next is the Cuba connection.
Okay. Sure.
Cuba was a festering topic at the time of Kennedy's assassination. So naturally, it overlapped with the conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
The Cold War backdrop of 1963 fuels speculation that Fidel Castro's Cuba played a role in Kennedy's murder.
Oh.
So they think that Castro killed Kennedy.
Okay.
Declassified Senate reports reveal that the CIA plotted multiple assassination attempts on Castro. So they think this was a retaliation.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, hey, we've tried to kill him multiple times, and it hasn't worked. So they're like, he might be trying to get us. And he did. And he did.
Yeah.
Yikes. Oswald's 1963 trip to Mexico City, where he attempted to contact Cuban and Soviet consulates, adds weight to these suspicions.
Okay.
Alternatively, some people that are anti-Castro operatives, enraged by JFK's refusal to provide military support for the Bay of Pigs invasion, which the Bay of Pigs invasion was a failed military landing operation on the southwestern coast of Cuba in 1961 by the United States and the Cuban Democracy Revolutionary Front. Consisting of Cuban exiles who opposed Castro's Cuban Revolution. Do you know what that means?
No, I kind of zoned out a little bit.
Okay, so...
I'm not the biggest history
So there was a
buff.
Cuban revolution from Castro, and he was like, we should attack the U.S., I think. And this revolution was financed by the U.S. government.
Right.
So...
I know we weren't the nicest to Cuba.
No,
I know
we
was
were kind of bad to them.
Yeah.
So it was failed by the U.S. The operation took place at the height. They're basically trying to get some kind of agreement together.
Okay.
And the operation took place at the height of the Cold War, and its failure influenced relations between Cuba, the United States, and the Soviet Union. So that was a problem, and so JFK's refusal to provide military support for that may have orchestrated the killing.
So we were refusing to support Cuba in their
drama against the Soviet Union. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so the three of them were kind of just in really awkward conversations.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Awkward situations.
So that makes sense. And then if we were also trying to, for some reason, assassinate the person in charge of Cuba, then like, why would we be surprised when they try to do it back?
Exactly. Because he was like, well, you're not going to support us financially.
Yeah.
You're going to die. And Oswald had reportedly been in contact with pro and anti-Castro figures and had been advocating on behalf of Castro and communists in the U.S. So all of these things were like, this is Cuba.
It was all the commies.
Totally.
It was the Red Scare.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And
I'm sure that's
that time
where
they were like communists.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
oh my God.
where that whole conspiracy even comes from. They're like, had to have been the communists.
It had to be, I guess. I know communists were a big thing back then.
Yeah, big topic.
Okay, next one.
Okay.
Was it an inside job?
By who?
You'll see.
The vice president?
Nope.
Oh.
You'll see.
Okay.
It is said that CIA orchestrated the assassination.
I believe it.
Yeah. Critics cite Kennedy's strained relationship with the agency, particularly after the Bay of Pigs debacle.
Debacle?
It says debacle.
Debacle?
I thought it was debacle. Is it debacle?
I say debacle.
I say debacle.
I don't know if anyone says debacle.
I feel like people say debacle.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
We'll let the listeners be the judge of that.
It's debacle.
Okay,
debacle.
Debacle.
I've never heard debacle. Okay. Okay. Well, the Bay of Pigs debacle made him fire then CIA Director Alan Dulles because they wouldn't support Cuba, and so they were like, "What the fuck?" Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a nephew of the late president and Trump's pick for the Secretary of Health, if you remember, has lent credence to this theory, arguing that JFK's refusal to escalate U.S. involvement in Vietnam made him enemies within the military-industrial complex.
Oh, so he's supporting it.
Yes.
He's like, my uncle died because of this.
This, like, strain politically, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, or military.
But can we really trust him?
No.
A worm ate
so.
his brain.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I trust him. He's a little problematic. Just a little bit.
That's one way to say it.
Just a little bit.
Guys, we here at Socratic Sisters believe in vaccines. So if you don't, you can leave.
You can leave.
That's all we'll say.
Yeah. Okay. This is a direct quote from JF Kennedy or Robert F. Kennedy Jr. JFK.
Yeah, direct quote from JFK from the grave
about his uncle.
Guys, we did a seance. There's a direct quote.
He's our bestie now.
Don't worry, he's gonna tell us what happened.
I can't remember if what side he was on. Was he Democrat?
I thought he was a Republican.
Oh,
hold on.
Okay, well, this is his quote. When my uncle was president, he was surrounded by military-industrial complex and intelligence apparatus that was constantly trying to get him to go to war in Laos, Vietnam, etc. He refused.
Okay.
Which he was just basically constantly being like, go to war, go to war, go to war. And he was like, no, why would I do that?
Because
what did they...
He was a Democrat. Okay,
I knew it. He was a Democrat. I knew it.
Slay. Yeah, people did like
slay.
him.
Yes,
but
also
a
lot of people liked him.
I would have believed if he was a Republican because back then Republicans were normal.
Yeah, and they weren't like radical.
Yeah,
not all Republicans.
This
are
is
radical,
like the most political we're gonna get.
Yes.
Okay.
You'll understand where we stand so far.
Just deal with it for a second.
Yeah. So he was always like, go to war, and he's like, no, I don't want to.
Peace.
Yeah, exactly, peace. Oh my gosh, I lost my notes. Okay. Kennedy claims that the murder was linked to pressure to send U.S. forces to Vietnam. He initially believed that a rogue element in the CIA was responsible before a meeting with CIA Director John McCone, who was fired after the
Bay of
debacle. Bay of Pigs debacle. Rogue element in the CIA was responsible before a meeting with CIA Director John McCone, who dispelled those suspicions and speculations. Kennedy experts.
So this is
by the way. Oh yeah,
People study this.
100%. There's a whole assassination sector of the United States government.
That's true. I didn't know that.
And
that
there
was
was back then too.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy.
At
I
that
mean, it
point,
makes sense now.
how many people had been assassinated? Really?
He was.
How many presidents?
I think he was the third or fourth.
Because we know what's his face. Lincoln.
Lincoln,
Tall
yes,
one.
was the first.
Yeah, but then after that, I don't know.
I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know where it is.
That's okay.
That's okay.
There hadn't been many.
No, they were he was the third or fourth.
Okay.
Yeah. Kennedy experts believe that the CIA was keeping a closer eye on Oswald's activities than they cared to admit. Recruited. Oh my gosh.
You need to just take a breather. So they were obsessed.
They were
Oswald.
obsessed
They
with
were
him.
like, hey man.
They were like, oh my God, he's perfect.
He's perfect.
And they recruited him to take care of their problem, which was Kennedy.
Problem.
Which was President Kennedy. Despite these claims, the 1979 House Select Committee on Assassinations found no evidence of CIA involvement.
But okay, they never actually admit when they do find
They
government
wouldn't tell us.
agencies responsible.
They would not tell us that.
Yeah, why would they tell us that?
But they didn't find evidence, so obviously it's true. Do you see this moving on its own?
It's me
moving
off too.
on its own.
I don't know why.
I don't know what's happening.
Maggie's iPad is tweaking.
My iPad is tweaking. Okay, last theory.
Okay.
And it's really short.
Okay.
Hopefully I can get through it.
You can do it.
The Mafia.
Oh.
As Attorney General, Robert Kennedy aggressively pursued the mob. And some theorists argue the Mafia retaliated by targeting his brother.
That seems like
Makes
a
sense.
likely scenario.
Yeah. This theory gained traction after Robert Kennedy himself reportedly expressed fears that his anti-mob crusade led to the president's murder.
Oh. So
he definitely thought it first.
The guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, but then he died. So was that related?
I don't know.
So then was he also killed by the mob?
Biographer Evan Thomas has said that Robert Kennedy was worried that the work he had... Oh, that's just the same thing. Oh, wow. That's a graphic photo.
Oh, yeah.
Assassination of Robert F. Kennedy in 1968. So you were thinking very close to 1969.
That is totally the one that I'm thinking of, yeah.
He was shot by Saran
Okay.
at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, California, and pronounced dead the following day.
Skip to the conspiracies.
I'm looking. Saran, a Palestinian Christian who held strong anti-Zionist and pro-Palestinian beliefs, testified in 1969 that he killed Kennedy with 20 years of malice aforethought. Oh. He was convicted and sentenced to death.
So not the mob. Not even close.
No.
I wonder what...
No, there was something else political.
Yeah, what he did in regards to Israel-Palestine.
These are so complex, history events that it's so hard to get every single detail into these research episodes. So sorry, that's what I got.
No, that was great. Mine are a lot easier where I just get to say whatever I want. I just research whatever parts I want to, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't ever want to make you believe that I have everything 100% right. Ever.
You are always welcome to fact check us.
Yes.
Please do.
Yes, please
Much
do.
like everyone did with the David statue.
Yes, that was very helpful.
So
I felt very dumb with that,
sorry.
but that's okay. Please fact check us. So yeah, that's all I have.
No, that was great.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about the episode of Umbrella Academy.
Just the
I feel
mound.
like
Or what was it? The mound or the
knoll, the
knoll.
grassy knoll.
The grassy knoll.
I'll probably just go down like a rabbit hole of like theories of what happened.
Honestly, yeah, I kind of just want to watch TikToks about it all day and like be like, interesting.
And those are all true because they're on the internet.
Yes,
So
of course.
yeah.
Everything on TikTok is true.
Yes, guys, remember everything you see on the internet is real. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. We will see you next week for episode 5.
And that's your topic.
To be determined.
Okay, great. Sounds
Or
good.
maybe it'll just be a surprise. I actually know
Ooh,
what it is.
I would
I'm just gonna
actually
have it be a surprise.
I mean, I would know because it's on the spreadsheet, but
Yeah, just don't look.
well, I need to look at what I have to do next.
I guess. Okay. Whatever.
Okay, we'll see you next
All
time.
right, see you guys later.
Bye.